Get started in just a moment or so, so if those of you who wish to grab a last morsel, do so and then take your seats. One of the 4 chapters in the state and the most active by far, and that's not just my own bragging. I believe that would be affirmed by the state affiliate board and the staff up there. The first thing I want to do tonight would be to ask the members of our current board if they would just please stand momentarily to be recognized. We do have a few members of our board who were unable to make it. One had a death in the family, and then there were some other commitments. One of our board members will be going off of the board as of this year, or as of tonight actually. We will be holding an election for new board members. We have 4 board vacancies, and at the present time we have 3 candidates. So we would accept nominations from the floor if anyone wishes to either self-nominate or to nominate another ACLU New Mexico member. We would welcome that from the floor. The candidates who are currently on the board and have chosen to run again are myself, Peter Fowley, and Lorna Rubelman. And Felipe de Ortego was the 4th member of the board whose term expires with this election, and he has chosen not to pursue another term. At this time, do I have any nominations from the floor? We also had successes in religious freedom. We had a religious rights issue a couple of months ago when a former board member, Spike Flanders, informed me of an evangelical religious body's almost exclusive use of the Silver City Senior Center. You probably all received one of their mailers in the Decoding the Prophecies, and it was scheduled to be at the Senior Center for 5 or 6 nights a week for about a month. I did notify the affiliate office. Just as a note of explanation, the chapter is a branch of the state affiliate. We do not have any authority on our own. We do not even have a treasury of our own. We act simply as an arm of the state affiliate. So I did notify the state affiliate about the issue, and I requested a meeting with Abigail Robinson, who was the county attorney and at the time the acting county director. I indicated to her that the meeting was going to be as an individual, not as an ACLU official inquiry, but we were interested. I also requested a number of records relating to the rental of the senior center. During our meeting, I pointed out to her the apparent violations of decisions regarding religious use of public buildings. There have been semi-permanent signs posted at the senior center. That is a no-no. According to Supreme Court decisions, signs may be put up temporarily just prior to a religious activity in a public building and then taken down immediately following.
Process at the Luna County Detention Center. He allegedly was moving from Albuquerque to the quieter life in Luna County, but I think that's, you know, it's for him to talk about. He has made some impressive changes at that facility, and I hope Matthew will discuss both the changes there as well as statewide, county, and larger detention issues. Matthew?
Good evening. Good evening. I'm going to lower this a little. There we go. Everybody hear me? Okay. Well, I stole somebody's art and put it up there as a way to start the evening, and I knew it was a songwriting competition, so I was looking all over the place for, can we get a song or something? And it was not going to work with a clicker, so I found one.
Standing in the jailhouse wishing I was free. Can't get out cause I haven't got a key. I got up in the lonesome jailhouse blue, waiting for a train that'll take me away. I'll be gone for many a day. I got the lonesome jailhouse blue.
So we looked at, of those 8,000, who's in our jails on a daily basis. 62% of them are incarcerated on a new charge, be it whatever, breaking and entering, robbery. 20% of those and is still DWI, so we still have a DWI problem in this state. And 16% is property crimes. So those are your two largest reasons why people are incarcerated on new charges. 36% of those are people that failed to comply with conditions. They've already gone through the criminal justice system, yet they failed to comply with their probation and parole. They didn't pay their fines. Something happened that they didn't comply with the court. Again, probation violations leads that category. It's kind of big. Then we get into length of stays. This is where it gets really, as an administrator of a jail, which should be a short-term facility, disheartening to see the amount of days people spend in jail for different types of crimes. And we looked at median length of stay. Remember, this is right in the middle. That means lots have become your mental health institutions. Okay, who's running your county jails? People with business degrees? Right? That's who's running your county jails. Managers, people who are used to that incarceration rate. We're not counselors, we're not licensed, so we have to bring those services in, although a lot of those 29 counties do not have the funding or the resources to bring them in. And we'll talk about that. Now let's look at competency. So you got 70 days, 80 days for misdemeanor. You have a mental health diagnosis, so you're at 200 days. But we're going to say, the judge says, I'm going to send him to competency court. Okay? So those proceedings are going to take an additional 332 days. So if you're in there on a misdemeanor crime, indecent exposure, anybody else urinating behind a bush would get 4 days probably. 4 days, sentence, 4 days in jail. If the judge feels you're incompetent, you're going to be with us 11 months. I have a gentleman who's been in my facility 8 times since I got there. Since March 2012, he's been rearrested 8 times for the same crime of indecent exposure. He's been in my facility 853 days. Okay. He's got a mental psychiatric issue. He's non-med compliant. Okay. But because of his psychosis, there's certain things he does in the community that aren't acceptable. Model inmate, can't be around anyone, we've got to keep an eye on him. Because of his psychosis, he's vulnerable to victimization. But that's a long time in jail for a misdemeanor crime. Then if you're found incompetent, you're going to spend 18 months. You know why? Because the judge doesn't have to release you. The psychiatrist who's doing the competency hearing doesn't have a time frame in statute to do that. The report can take a long time, and the judges sometimes, before getting to court to settle that judgment and sentence, feel they should just sit there because they're protecting the public. Can't release them. We want to make sure. Way too long, 537 days for them to say, you know what, you're incompetent, I'm drop the charges. Serious issue, serious issue. Remember, judicial judges can't be sued. Therefore, they go into county jails. And these are the people we have to deal with. These are the people that cause administrators nightmares at night. Are they being watched? Are they being bathed? Are they being clothed? Are they being fed? And mechanisms in place. And we'll talk about later kind of mechanisms we're pushing as a state to ensure that these people are getting the services they need. So we did a little comparison. The State Sentencing Commission asked every facility in the state on June 30th to send in their data. And they do this nice calculation. They haven't done 214 yet. When I get them, I'll send them to you. That report's coming. But on June 30th, 2013, in the state prison system, male population was 6,043. In your county jails, there was 7,030. So 1,000 more people in your county jails. And the female population, which we'll talk about, it's a growing population. In the state level, and there's talk about the state was overcrowded with females. Well, there's 1,400 females in county jails. Remember, 80% unsentenced waiting adjudication.
Recent U.S. Supreme Court cases have gone a long ways towards approving strip searches in ways that the New Mexico Constitution might not. Also, dual sovereigns, that means dual jurisdiction. If you sell an ounce of heroin in Silver City, you're violating both state and federal law. You may be prosecuted by one or the other, and in very, very rare occasions, both. So the takeaway lesson is, don't look to the courts to remedy what may seem to be overly harsh sentences for offenses, because the states have great latitude in defining what's a crime in the first place, and secondly, deciding how to punish it. And for example, that heroin example, the punishment upon a conviction in state court and conviction in federal court would be two different punishments.
A year's membership again at the ACLU, and a t-shirt,
Excellent.
and a gift bag,
Excellent.
and the most important part, you win the prize money.
Oh, thank you.
Then the part that you get to take home and hang on your wall, the singer-songwriter of the year for his excellent composition, Attica.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you all. So look, get it going?
Yes, we'll
Okay.
get you going.
All right. Thank you very much. Very much enjoyed the
rather terrifying speeches. In my civilian identity, I teach English at a community college, and one of the pieces that I regularly assign for certain classes is Clarence Darrow's Address to the Prisoners in the Cook County Jail, which was a speech that Darrow delivered in 1902, and I go through it with my students, and we talk about, well, what's different now? And the really scary part is that not all that much is. But at any rate, thank you again. To the entries that I submitted to the ACLU over the past 3 years. And this first one is called I Won't Do For You No More. I ripped the gold from the palms of the earth. I handed it to you. You determined its worth. You used that gold to bar me from your door. But I won't do for you no more. I whipped the slave like it told me to. It didn't speak when spoken to. I knocked it to your wooden floor. I won't do for you no more. I won't do for you no more. I won't do for you no more. You can knock, but I ain't answering the door. I won't do for you no more. I worked in your factory, your cruel hot box, almost food free. You came to man, you said that we deserve more. So I won't do for you no more. You said go sail across the sea and fight people. Don't you want your freedom? If you do, then sacrifice is the name of the game, and you will pay the price. If you've got nothing to hide, if you've got nothing to hide, then you realize what we do to keep you safe. And when we pry, and when we spy, keep terror at bay. You've got nothing to gain by complaining that the light of freedom's been dimmed. Privacy and secrecy are merely synonyms.